All right. Good morning. Let's go ahead and read through the next Proverbs. We're on day 13. And here's Proverbs 4 1 through 9. Hear, O sons, a father's instructions, and be attentive that you may gain insight. For I give you good precepts. Do not forsake my teaching. When I was a son with my father, tender, the only one in the side of my mother, he taught me and said to me, let your heart hold fast my words. Keep my commandments and live. Get wisdom, get insight. Do not forget and do not turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will keep you. Love her, and she will guard you. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, and whatever you get insight. Prize her highly, and she will exalt you. She will honor you if you embrace her. She will place on your head a graceful garland. She will bestow on you a beautiful crown. All right, let's get through this. Highlight for sure father's instructions. I'm gonna do this in a can't see that. All right. A father's instructions. I think I'll just keep that yellow. Oh, that's funny. So a father's instructions. And be attentive. Be attentive. Hear a father's instructions and be attentive. What? Doing this thing where I changed the font coloring versus the highlight. That you may give good insight is the result of it. Hear our father's instructions and be attentive. You get good insight. Okay, there you go. It's if you listen to your father's instructions and be attentive to him, you'll gain good insight. For I give you good precepts. Do not forsake my teaching. When I was a son with my father, tender. Here's the main gist of this first part: is that there is this father and son relationship. There has to be. The father has to be present to give instructions and to give insight. So there's this receiver and giver relationship where the father is giving instructions and the son is receiving. And I think that's the natural order of how life is. It doesn't matter what you believe, it's just natural that the parents, someone in authority, will go ahead and give instructions to the person that is subservient. Subordinate? I think subordinate is better, was better. So this father-son relationship is kind of pretty important here. That the father needs to continue to instruct his son, and the son has to listen. And hopefully whoever the father is giving good precepts. Good precepts. Actually, let me just put that there. You can barely see that, but it's there. Precepts. Just really quick. General rule of action or principle for behavior, often taught as a guide for life, conduct, or specific time. Okay, so precepts definitely is, and do not forsake my teaching. Okay, when I was a son with my father, tender, the only one in the side of my father, he taught me. Okay, so when I was a son with my father, which is interesting because that's this legacy thing. When I was your age. I it's interesting. I can get more colors. I like that color. When I was your age, I went ahead and my father taught me. He taught me. See that? So when I was your age, he taught me and said to me, "Let your heart." So he's continuing on this legacy of what his father taught him. And so he is passing on this information to his own son. And the hopes is, if this is correct, is that his son will pass it on to his son, so on and so forth. And I feel that that is kind of the legacy of the father, is, yeah, you could give monetary legacy where, oh, I have a property here. You could go when I die. You could go ahead and have that. Yeah, that is a thing. Not everybody has property to give. So, and I would like to say that property and material legacy and stuff like that, those are fleeting and impermanent, and it is possible to lose it all. And if you haven't figured that out, you're gonna have a hard time. I don't care if you're a billionaire, millionaire, whatever. Um, it's pretty interesting how over time you may lose it all. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what kind of natural disasters, national, international wars may happen and stuff like that. A lot of things may happen. You may get sued. You may lose everything. Divorce. You may give half to your wife or something like, or your spouse or partner or whatever. So these things that are material, it's there. You could get them. You could pass it on to your children, and maybe it'll make their life a little bit easier and stuff like that. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll actually make them a little bit more prideful, entitled, which is even worse. So the best thing a father could give to their sons and children and stuff like that is words that could last beyond what is material. That's what I believe, and that's what I think they're saying here. And what he's saying is, let your heart hold fast to my words, keep my commandments, and live. Get wisdom, get insight. Do not forget and do not turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will keep you. Love her, and she will guard you. The beginning. Okay. So this whole section is the advice. That's the big reveal. Is, see, I don't like how it's fine. Let your heart hold fast. I'm going to underline these things. Let your heart hold fast. Something to do with your heart. Hold fast to my word. Something in your heart. Keep. Well, maybe I'll do verbs. Oops. So you want to hold fast. You want to hold fast. You want to keep. Get and get. Live. Do not forget. Do not turn away. Do not forsake. Those are like the key. Hold fast, keep, live, get wisdom. Do not forget. Do not turn away. Do not forsake her. Yeah, all these things are related to having wisdom in your heart. Having wisdom all around. Keeping the wisdom with you. Having it. And so the father is telling his son, like, keep wisdom in your heart. Always go for that. Always go for wisdom as a kind of a priority in your life over everything else. I'm just adding the everything else, but he's not saying have your $1,000 emergency fund and then your $10,000 emergency fund, budget your money and all that kind of stuff. That's all. He didn't say that, but he's talking about this whole big gigantic umbrella of wisdom and everything under it that relates to wisdom. And actually, budgeting your money and taking care of the finances and stuff like that is a part of being wise. Instead of being frugal in the wealth that you acquire over your time and stuff like that. And so I feel it's really important um, to have wisdom first or concurrently with the material wealth that you have. So it all happens at the same time. Uh, but before a child or a son gets material wealth, they are with their father and being disciplined and trained. And so the father should be training them to seek out wisdom. So my challenge to you is, are you, as a father or parent, raising your child up to be wise and seeking wisdom. Okay. Or giving them wisdom, stuff like that. And it just kind of reminds us what that all does here. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, and whatever you get insight. So wisdom is the beginning of all. Prize her highly and basically encourage you to be with her. And these are the results of if you look for get wisdom. Let me get a new color. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of the result. Um, Sort of like fluff. She will honor and embrace you. How does that look actually? It seems like it would be a good life. You will get a good life if you follow your parents' instruction, your father's instructions on keeping wisdom in your heart. Okay. And so that is my hope that you will follow that. This important idea of having a father in your life. They said specifically father. So I could look at the Greek if they're talking about parent, but there is this, I don't know, biological desire to have a father. And this does not discount any of you who do not have a father. Hopefully you find a father figure, someone, a man, who will train you in the way, so to say, the mentor. Everyone needs to have a mentor, father, discipler, or someone who helps you in going the right way. If not in the Christian way or the following of Jesus way, but just to be a good individual as a human being, someone who kind of does that. And you don't find that. It is possible you find that through reading and stuff like that if you don't have a figure and stuff like that, like a father figure. I do. Unfortunately, my father doesn't have the mental capacity at this moment because of his condition to go ahead and give me the wisdom that I need being an adult now with a family, a lot of children, which is would be pretty interesting conversation to have with my father is how did you be a father to many children? What was going through your head when you were raising your children? Because I have four brothers and three sisters. Like, what do you do? So at any given time, there is probably a maximum of like about four living in a house at a time, which is how many kids I have. And so those are some insights that I wish I've had from my father of what it was like. I can actually ask my mom. My mom gave me some of that wisdom, but there's something about my father that from his perspective, because the personalities of my mother and father are totally different. So I like to hear it from his perspective, but I won't be able to, which is unfortunate. So, so fathers, don't waste your time in giving insight and wisdom to your children and raising them and teaching them. Now, I was looking through Facebook, guilty pleasure. Don't it's not something I shouldn't be doing. Anyways, I realized that my brother's birthday has passed. Um, he's older than me, older like 50 something, whatever, 54. Um, it's been 2 days, and I missed him 2 days ago, and I realize our issue as brothers in my side of the family is that we're really bad at celebrating each other on time or remembering. Some people are better in that than I, but maybe it's just me. And so I said, "Happy belated birthday, my brother." Um, Time goes by fast, and yeah, time is going fast. Under that same vein, going really fast. So why waste your time in not raising and teaching your children the proper way to go? And it's okay to discipline your children. It's okay to give them consequences for actions that they have done that is not appropriate. You need to tell them and let them know there are boundaries in life within the confines of relating to other people. And your mind could be boundless and you can have ideas like whatever, but there is some boundaries involved in relating to other people. And to be able to know all of that, you have to be wise, seek wisdom, knowing when to do something, when not to do something, speaking appropriately with good measure and with tact and with love and kindness, all those kind of things. When to protest, when not to protest, when to use violence and when not to use violence in current political situations right now. But yeah, that's my thing. Hopefully, this was beneficial to you and you learned something. And I hope you have a good day. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.